The training yard fell silent as Private Elena Ramirez stepped into the sparring pit, her boots kicking up dust in the afternoon heat. At just 5 feet 4 inches, she looked like a child standing before the 5 hulking Marines who'd been handpicked to test her, their smirks wide, their muscles flexing under sweat-soaked shirts. The drill instructor's voice cut through the tension like a knife. "Let's see what this little girl is really made of." The first Marine lunged with a laugh, right before Elena's fist snapped his head back with a crack that echoed off the barracks walls. By the time the 5th man hit the ground clutching his ribs, the entire platoon stood frozen in shock, their earlier taunts dying in their throats. Because this wasn't just a recruit. This was La Sombra, the ghost of cartel nightmares, and she'd just proven the Marine Corps had made their biggest mistake ever by underestimating her. The drill instructor's spit landed an inch from Private Elena Ramirez's boots. "You're weak, recruit," Gunnery Sergeant Hartman bellowed, his voice ricocheting off the Paris Island barracks. "The Corps doesn't take charity cases." Elena stood motionless at attention, her 5 feet 4 inches frame dwarfed by the hulking Marines surrounding her. The other recruits held their breath. They'd all heard the rumors that she'd only gotten here through some diversity quota, that her perfect PFT scores were a paperwork error, that the Ramirez on her name tape was really her married name, and she'd never seen real combat. They were wrong, dead wrong. Flashback. Mexico City, 6 months earlier, the nightclub exploded in a fireball of screams and shattering glass. Elena, Corporal Elena then, shoved her diplomat cousin behind a concrete pillar as the cartel hit team opened fire. "Stay down." She ripped the pistol from her evening gown's thigh holster. 3 headshots later, the gunman lay still. The security cameras would show what happened next. The 120-pound woman in a cocktail dress dragging 2 wounded Marines through kill zones, using a champagne bucket as an improvised tourniquet. The video went viral. The Corps buried it. Present day. The Crucible Hartman smirked as he tossed Elena into the sparring pit with 5 of his biggest Marines. "Let's see how you handle real training, Princessa." The first Marine lunged and found himself eating dirt. From a throw Elena learned in the lucha libre rings of her childhood, the second swung a haymaker. Elena slipped under it and drove her elbow into his solar plexus hard enough to make the watching recruits wince. By the time the 5th Marine hit the deck, the entire training yard had gone silent except for the ragged breathing of the defeated Hartman's face turned the color of raw steak. What the hell was that? Elena wiped blood from her split lip. "Sir, técnicas de combate cuerpo a cuerpo, sir. Learned from Los Zetas when they ambushed my convoy near. I know damn well who Los Zetas are." Hartman roared. Then, quieter, "You're her. The one they call La Sombra." The pit suddenly felt 10 degrees colder. Even the knocked-out Marines stirred at the name. The legend of La Sombra in certain circles, the kind where men spoke in whispers over burned phones. La Sombra was a ghost story. A DEA asset turned bogeyman who dismantled 2 cartel networks using only a knife and a stolen police radio. The Marine Corps had lost her paperwork 3 times trying to keep her out. The cartels had put $1 million bounty on her head. And now she stood in Hartman's training pit, looking every inch the unassuming recruit except for the way her eyes tracked like a predator's. The aftermath that night in the barracks. The same Marines who'd mocked Elena's size lined up to shake her hand. Hartman found her polishing boots alone. "You could have taken my job anytime," he grunted. Elena didn't look up. "Sir, I didn't come here to prove anything." She held up a photo of her little brother, killed by the same cartel she'd escaped. "I came to learn." When she graduated top of her class 8 weeks later, even the commandant showed up. The Eagle, Globe, and Anchor was pinned to her collar. The whisper rippled through the crowd. "That's her. That's La Sombra." Ipe, the cartel boss, never heard the shot that killed him, but the last thing he saw was a Marine emblem clutched in a small, scarred hand, and the ghost of a girl he'd thought long dead smiling down the scope.